working for fine art, then anything is art. A
Mhm.
black dot on white is also art.
Mhm.
But when you're working for a commercial market, there is a certain skill that it demands. It it really demands a lot. It
Mhm.
demands a lot of time. It demands a lot of effort. And if you are how Bahubali has changed people's mind in now thinking big
Mhm.
and thinking beyond, and not necessarily be just star
You
oriented.
are interacting with them, there is this fear of approaching when you have this admiration or they feel like you're someone who's really established. How do I approach this
Again,
person?
I say there are two things you have to love. I see a lot of what I mean by this. I see a lot of people doing fan art in South. A lot of fan art is so prevalent in South, unlike anywhere else.
Yeah.
And a lot of these young kids, they are part of my channel or Facebook or anything. And like if there is, let's say Vijay's one film is released, poster is released, by evening there will be 10 fan arts released of the same image,
Mhm.
and they all look the very same because they are just looking for those likes. Tuck, 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 tuck. I can speak about movies and posters any time of the day.
Sitting in the back bench, a little chubby boy began to sketch in his book. He was creating memories to be shared as stories. His greatest hobby was to collect comics that had brilliantly portrayed characters.
I still remember in Wednesdays we used to have Chitrahar on Doordarshan. So Chitrahar mein if they are showing old films, they would just show the name. But if they are showing a song from a new film, they'll show a poster for a few seconds. And I used to be every day I'm running to the TV room to just see that poster so that I could get a glimpse of a poster of that film.
He would secretly fill his room with newspaper clippings of movie posters. As what fascinated him the most was how you can tell a story in a picture. While in India, a topper means tech or medicine, he chose art, going by the greatest fascination of telling a story in a picture. Presenting to you a skill-hungry, simple man who does wonders with his creativity. Our own poster junkie, Raj Khatri.
About the poster that you have designed for Lal Kaptan, so they want to know like what kind of an emotional, journey was it to come up with that kind of a poster?
So Lal Kaptan was interesting because Lal Kaptan I perceived as
Mhm.
an Western film, as an cowboy Western,
Okay.
but set in a pre-independent India.
Okay.
So I found it damn interesting. I thought, yeah, how do I treat it like a cowboy Western meets pre-independent India and Aghori, Baba and Saif and everything? It was damn cool.
Mhm.
So if you see, there was another creative that didn't release actually the teaser. There was one more teaser. So everything, the entire communication was designed around that: horses, guns, sun, all the elements from the spaghetti westerns. I took them and I kind of Indianized it the way his tika kind of extends, and there's a dead body being dragged. So it reminiscent of dead bodies dragged on horses
Mhm.
in cowboy films when the bodies used to be dragged by horses. So I thought an idea from there. कि वो body drag हो रहा है तो it's leaving a trail and the trail is continuing from his tika
Mhm.
because that he was like that. He was a bounty hunter. The film itself was also inspired from the cowboy films and all that. So that was the very interesting part. And from there, I thought this entire imagery came out. The horses on the gun and the key art where everything is together and tells a story with the horse, the tree, the hanging bodies on the tree and everything. So uh, I saw it like in cowboy films set in Indian space, and that was the interesting take for me. And I think that gave me the visual world for me is to go on that.
Okay. But what is art according to you, and can imperfection be an art?
Sorry, can what?
What is art according to you? Can imperfection be an art? Can be taken as an art?
If you're working for fine art, then anything is art. A
Mhm.
black dot on white is also art.
Mhm.
But when you're working for a commercial market, there is a certain skill that it demands.
Okay.
Because a market demands a skill, because a skill is associated with its production, a production is associated with its commerce, and the commerce is associated with money, right? So if you will you ever buy a shoes whose logo looks really bad and it's not aligned properly and the colors are not right, and every time you buy that brand shoe, every time the logo kind of change, kind of not look uniform to you, will you pay like a 2,000 rupees to buy that shoes? You won't, because you will think, yeah, these guys don't care about their own brand. How will they make good stuff? Psychologically, we are programmed like that with
Mhm.
over the years to value a certain thing if that thing is produced in a certain manner in front of us. Why
Okay.
do we love Nike so much? We know Nike shoes is as good as action shoes, a Bata shoes. But Nike, the way it produces its brand, the way it projects is its commercial, the way it projects its t-shirt, the way it projects is its showroom art, the display of the showroom, everything. The way it projects itself, it's so well produced. It looks pristine. It's like I would not throw a bloody Nike ka box. I mean, the first time I bought a Nike shoe, I was preserving the box because from middle class guy, the first time I bought a Nike shoe was an event for me. The
Mhm.
orange color box that it came with, I was like, no. The same is with Apple. I I I kid you not, nobody in this world, I believe, would ever be throwing the Apple box, the iPhone box. Nobody throws it.
Okay.
Okay, everybody keeps it
Yeah.
because the way it comes in package to you. So again, how does it come? Because you perceive it's very well produced, it's very pristine. How does it come from? Because it's well designed. How does it come from? Because it's well crafted. How does it come from? Because it's well thought. Because it's well designed. How does it? Because art. So everything is a chain. A
Mhm.
skill is there because it's well produced art, which is all produced productionally. That's why it looks pristine. So you have to have a skill in a very well produced way, and to produce that skill in a well produced, you have to give time to the art. So
Okay.
imperfection can be your own thing, but when you're working for a commercial market, it has its demands. So
Okay.
you have to reach that demand. You have to like burn that edge, and like how you say that dhar lagni chahiye.
So, what is the most
Sharpen your
beautiful,
blades.
what is the most beautiful thing that you have experienced as a designer till date, and what was the most difficult thing that you have faced being in this field?
Beautiful thing is, I will say I'm a very introvert person, extremely introvert. But how today I've realized that people all over the country, knowingly or unknowingly, love my work,
Mm.
right?
Yes, yes.
And how people from generations, like when I say generation means, I have people come up to me and they have told, sir, when I was in school, this was my wallpaper on my first computer. This was the poster in my room. This was the movie I went to see because of this poster. So that is something I believe it's beyond, it's beyond an art form. It's beyond that. Also, the thing in my mind, I'm still that kid who was in fourth standard. I'm still that kid. Even today, I get really excited to see good posters.
Okay.
I really get excited to see international good posters, Indian good posters, anybody who's done a good work. I will find the artist, I will comment it, I'll leave a message, I'll send a message, I'll congratulate them, and I will really save that JPEG on my phone or on my machine. I'll still do that because I really get goosebumps when I see a great poster. And because I am a poster lover who happens to be a designer. So that is there. So for that person, seeing his artwork, put it out on all the billboards
Mhm.
and all the places around the world, when there is a Cannes festival, you see your artwork behind it. When you see when you're driving in Bombay, you see on a hoarding, it's a huge thing, right? So that is a great thing. Okay, now the sad part is, like any art form, it it really demands a lot. It demands a lot of time. It demands a lot of effort. And if you are always striving to do good work, you will always be fighting that. So you will always have difficulty with your personal life, your personal family life. You'll have difficulty with your social life. Because if you are chasing something really beyond, these things will happen. You can't sail in both the ships. You won't get two things. I've realized that in life. You can't get everything. You have to draw a line. Okay, I'll push only till this much, but I'll enjoy this also. Then don't crib how that artist is getting more recognition than you, because he or she is putting that much effort in that and pushing their own skills and doing that extra work. So that is why if you want that, you have to sacrifice the same. So that is how it is. Yeah.
Okay. So this is a question from me. I really like the AK versus AK poster. Like I was just having a look at it.
Okay.
How did that come out? Like how did you try? Because both of them are having their own set of auras. They have that energy in them.
Yeah. So idea was that. So idea was like, when I saw the film and when the brief came to me, so I was like, AK versus AK. The first thought what comes, like two faces looking at each other and like in angry, like universally that's how it's done. Versus versus versus. But I thought they both are like a different side of the same coin. They both are passionate, mad people. One belongs to an ethos, different kind of ethos. One belongs to a different ethos. One is from kind of so-called family-run business. One is an independent voice. And that was also the kind of stake in the film. So there were different things that we did. There was one more creative that I really loved more than this that didn't make it because of some reasons that whatever. But this one was the idea was ki they will. I just had an idea where ki they will have an half face with the text written on their face and it will go in the wall, and the other half will have the other face and the text written on the wall. And I presented them and the client liked it and they said, how can we mix this together? And that's when we tried mixing this. And because we shot them with our lighting and it's a special shoot done, so they were shot in the same setup and same light. So I thought let me try this thing. It may look little. There was a very thin line, if it's not done right, it looks very shoddy. And many people have tried and look shoddy because it looks shoddy because it's not shot for that purpose. They are not shot in the same light. A lot of times what happens, one is shot in a different light, one is shot in a different light. So when you merge it doesn't blend well. So when I was merging it, I thought it was really doing well. And then I finished it, I showed it and the client loved it. And then it went out and it was really received well.
Okay.
So I'm glad people liked it. Yeah.
Yeah, it is beautifully done. I should say that it's really nice.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
So I was just thinking about your journey because I was just looking into your TED talk as well. So I can still connect and relate to what kind of a boy you would have been because you were having the paper cuttings and cha comic books and everything with you, and now like you've grown this far, you have made your own path. So I really want to know, where are you looking ahead from here? What is there? Is there something like a dream thing that you want to do?
Yeah, there are dreams, but I don't want to put it out because then if you put it out, so it kind of, I don't know. There's no point putting it out if I don't, because if universe is kind enough, then maybe I'll reach there, and if I reach there, then it will be out there.
Yeah,
Why do I have to say that? Because I always believe that you have to look reverse, but aspire forward.
yes.
Right? So I look reverse, and I really, really, really feel happy and grateful and content from where I came and to where I have reached. And I really aspire forward to do things that are like really beyond me. So yeah, so I'm there. I'm trying few things. Let's see.
Yeah. I would definitely want to know where you reach from here. That is why I asked you, like, what is that you're looking forward to from that?
Yeah, there are a lot of things, and there are things that scare me also. Okay, is it too big of me? I don't want to. I'm not saying being a filmmaker and all that. No, nothing of that sort, because that's the very easy transition that everybody will say. From a visual artist, they would want to become a filmmaker. No. I love this art form way too much, and in this art form only, I want to do few things. So yeah, so there it is. There are few milestones I've set for myself. Let's see how much I can reach there.
Do you really think, this segregation of the regional film industry, being the North and South and all that, will one day come under the same umbrella very soon? Will it happen?
I think it has started now. It has started now with Bahubali being the torchbearer, and now you have the answers. Saho didn't do anywhere else better the way it did better in the northern belt. I'll tell you, I recently did Ashwathama. So it's a huge film. It's a science fiction action superhero genre kind of film with Vicky Kaushal. Okay, Vicky Kaushal is in. Okay, it's a very great film, and it's mounted and done and conceived on a scale that has never been seen on Indian screen. And I was really fortunate enough to work on it and come up with the key visuals for it and whatever. So the point being, when that film came to my table, the first thing I realized it, how Bahubali has changed people's mind in now thinking big
Mhm.
and thinking beyond, and not necessarily be just star oriented, because now the content and the scale will pull people, right? So because before Bahubali, the northern people, us, the Hindi people, didn't know Prabhas, right? We
Correct.
didn't. I mean, we must have seen his dubbed film on channels,
Mhm.
but we didn't. Were not idol. People are not like idolizing him the way they do now. So that's how the same is with what's happening with KGF. The second KGF, the trailer is so well received across. So I think it's a start. It's a start of a new thing, which will amalgamate talents, technicians, concepts, and also what Rajamouli sir is doing with RRR. He's got Ajit Devgan and Alia Bhatt also in his film, so
Mhm.
that it can cater to a wider audience. So what is it will happen is, I think in future more things will happen, and it will become. Of course, it cannot 100% become like that. There will be a certain section that will cater to only a certain region, but there will be projects. There will be those tentpole projects in a year that will be pan India for sure.
Okay, so this is another question that one of the boys wanted to know who is going to make his movie soon. So what he wanted to know is like he has seen your Instagram and everything, and all of them are big stars and great work of people who are already established. So what he was asking is, would you be okay in working with a younger new team, or are you very picky about
So
people being
So
established?
I'll tell no. So I tell you what, the thing is, people get it wrong. A lot of people approach me, like many people approach me, they message me. The thing is, I am not an independent artist. I work for Marching Ants.
Okay.
Marching Ants Advertising is a very big design agency in Bombay. I work as a creative head for Marching Ants. I'm being with Marching Ants for 12 years,
Mhm.
and I work only for Marching Ants. I don't take any freelance projects.
Okay.
Okay, and whatever work I do outside Marching Ants are my personal projects. They are non-commercial, non-freelance. They are non monetized by anything. They are just my experimental work.
Okay.
So all my work is done for Marching Ants. It's an agency where I work.
Mhm.
So I don't work with anybody else because I don't freelance. Whatever time I get out of my Marching Ants, out of my work, I use it to do my personal work. That's
Okay.
about it. So there's nothing to do with, and so there is the question of big or small goes out of it. If they come via Marching Ants, then it's another project for me. I'll do it for sure.
I think it is just because all the projects that you worked with are quite big, right? And
Yeah, I mean,
the
so
fear of
Marching Ants
approaching,
is,
though you have live sessions, though you are interacting with them, there is this fear of approaching when you have this admiration or they feel like you're someone who's really established. How do I approach this person? So I think
no,
that is
so that's the thing, I'm not an independent artist yet. What I mean by that is I don't take freelance projects, simple as that. I don't freelance. So that so that's that.
oh, okay, fine. So let me just come to the last question. That is like, this is more like a soul to soul conversation, is what we say. So just imagine there is a 17, 18, 19 young guy who really wants to, uh, they want to be your shadow or want to be like you or the same profession. There are a lot of people who want to be like someone. So, what is that advice with your experience that you would like to give them?
Again, I say there are two things you have to love. One, movies. Love movies
Hmm.
for the love of movies. And second, telling a story, right? A poster is only good if it can tell a story.
Correct.
If you can tell a story on a poster, and then third is of course the commercial, the cosmetic part of it is producing it. Okay, that is the third aspect, which is equally important. If you don't have the skill and you don't produce it well, then it won't hit the mark. But primarily, you have to be a movie lover and you have to be a storyteller. And then his third part is you have to have the required skill set, and you have to chase and keep improving your skill. I believe I'm always chasing that. That's why I believe with going years, I see my skill moving forward. So there, of course, now everybody looks up to a bigger artist, and you think people look up to me. I may be looking up to other artists, and you think, oh man, I have to reach there. I have to reach there. I have to, and which is really good, pushing, and also keeps you grounded, really grounded. Internet keeps you grounded. Whenever you think you're like a rock star, you have to just go on in Instagram or and just check out few people's work and then sulk in your self worth. So yeah, so what I was saying, you have to love movies, you have to love storytelling, and then you have to put in those hours to improve your skill to tell it, and keep doing it. Keep doing it again and again and again and again, and don't think what the trend is. Don't think what the big actor poster should look like. Don't think if this is. I see a lot of what I mean by this. I see a lot of people doing fan art in South. A lot of fan art is so prevalent in South, unlike anywhere else.
Yeah.
And a lot of these young kids, they are part of my channel or Facebook or anything. And like if there is, let's say Vijay's one film is released, poster is released, by evening there will be 10 fan arts released of the same image, and they all look the very same, because they are just looking for those likes. Tuck, 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 tuck. I need 50, I want 100 likes, 200 like, and the next morning there'll be 50 more which again looks the same. So what I mean is that they are not thinking of their own, they're not thinking what I'm bringing on table. I, as in person, as in my experience, my brain, my biology, my blood, my veins, my voice, what am I getting it on it, right? If you have to think like that, what you are bringing on table with everything, and then take it from there. What everybody is today doing is, if there is a certain kind of treatment that is happening, everybody is doing the same. If there's a certain kind of style that is built, everybody's losing the same, because they think that will get me eyeballs. But it's not like that. Eyeballs will only be given to somebody who does great work and stands out, right? It's same for any profession which is performing arts or arts. Anybody who stands out in a longer run will only be known. Everybody else will just be a crowd. It's like that. So yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah, you have to have a personal approach to it. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you so much, Raj. You have, literally enlightened all of us, and I'm sure all the kids who have reached out to us are really, really going to be happy with all your inputs that you've given. And
Yeah.
you are definitely not an introvert while I'm talking to you. So I don't know what kind of an
No, that is something.
maybe it's a
Yeah.
passion.
So I was. Yeah. So I'll tell you, I have this thing because again, people tell me you have been taking public speeches, you have been doing seminars, you have been doing TED Talk. So I have this theory. When I'm talking about my journey, I'm the only person who knows the best in that room, nobody else. So I can talk. But in a general scenario, I don't. I think, I don't know, being a hostel kid, being a chubby kid all my life, I've kind of stained that thing in me. I don't speak up in front of strangers much easily.
Oh.
So yeah, but yeah, this is something, it's like my passion. I can speak about movies and posters any time of the day.
So it was really, really thankful to you for sharing your experience, sharing your journey. And
Thanks. I really,
really wish that all your dreams come true, though you do not want to share.
thank you.
Universe, manifests it and makes it happen to you very, very soon.
Thank you.
Wish you all the best, Raj.
Thank you.
Wonderful talking.
Thank you. Likewise. Thank you.
Thank you.